I was born in Chorostkov, Poland, which is now part of the Ukraine. In 1938, we had a population of about 2,200 and some Jewish people. I stayed there till the end of 1944, when we were liberated by the Russians. You have to understand, for me, the war didn't start in 1939. For me, the war started in 1941. So I remember the Germans when they came in. Just after my 3rd birthday, they came in. I was born in June, they came in at sometime in July. There was a bridge, and they crossed the bridge. There was a motorcycle with a sidecar. Then there was like a little command car, I don't know, like an armored personnel carrier. Then there was trucks and trucks of soldiers behind that. I remember the soldiers were hungry, and we fed them. My mother made kasha, and she fed the German soldiers. And you know what's funny? They were the Wehrmacht, which was like the regular army. And they told us to get out before the SS and the Gestapo come there. But we didn't have where to go. Where were we supposed to go? Not long after they came in, which was in 1941, around the end of 1941, they put us in a ghetto. And every day they would come and take like 200, 300 people, the men first, and put them on the train, and that was it. They were gone. We stayed in the ghetto in Chorostkov till the end of 1942. And then there just weren't enough Jews left for them to have a ghetto in Chorostkov. So they moved us into Kopyczynce, which was like 6 kilometers, which is about 3 miles, another town near us. And they put us in the ghetto there. And then they liquidated the ghetto and they sent us to camp. I guess I was one of the lucky ones. My mother was a cook and my father was a confectioner, so they worked in the kitchen. That's one of the reasons we survived. I was 3 when the Germans came in. I was 5, almost 5 when we went to camp. My mother, me, my father, they would work in the kitchen and also work in the field. And I worked in the fields. One of these times when we were coming back from the field and we had a wagon with a load of, I think, potatoes in it, and we were pushing it. The German took the rifle and hit my mother with the butt right in the back. Till the day she died, she was suffering from that. He hit her right in the spine. Later on, I saw another thing that I can never forget. They were leading Jews to be shot. You know, there was a column of Jews, and there was a woman holding a baby in her hands, 2, 3 years old. The baby was crying. The German guard took the baby from her by the feet, smashed the head against the wall, and gave the baby back to the mother. So, you know, killed it, but he gave the baby back to the mother because the mother just hugged it and kept on walking. To this day, I haven't slept one night to sleep through a night. To this day. You have to understand that from our town, there were about 17 survivors. I'm talking that survived in town. I was a child, but I was never a child. Take my word for it. I learned to survive before I learned the ABCs. I learned not to make noise. I learned when a German was around to hide. If you see a German, you hide, because they could just kill you for no reason. They could just take the gun out and shoot you and not even think about it. I remember there was an air raid, and we were separated, and I grabbed my mother and pulled her in to hide. We hid in a hedgerow. Now, you tell me how many 4 years old will do that. I did not have Liberation Day because the Russians did not have a front like the Americans did. All of a sudden, you'd see a Russian soldier with a Pepeshka running and chasing the Germans. And they didn't take any German prisoners, let me tell you. They just shot them. We didn't have any belongings. We traveled with the Russian army in their trucks, or a lot of them they had wagons, horse-drawn wagons. That's how we traveled. Or on foot, we walked, or whatever. All the way till we got to Bulgaria. In Bulgaria, we took a train to Turkey. And that's when really I was liberated in Turkey. We returned to Poland January, February of 1947, and I stayed till October of 1950. And then we went to Israel. Would you believe me? My children have never spoken to me about the war. They don't know what I went through. They don't know anything about it. I'll tell you honestly, I have not spoken about the war until I came here to Tennessee about 2-3 years ago. Like, I have aunties and uncles who survived the war. They never speak about the war. I never spoke to my parents about the war. We never talk about the war. It's not a pleasant memory. It's not something you want to remember.